This is 7 News.
Tonight, MP Craig Thomson arrested over claims he used union credit cards to pay prostitutes.
I'll be vigorously defending these charges.
Submachine guns and shotguns among an alarming haul of weapons seized in Perth.
A Perth man seriously injured in an alleged hit and run in Northbridge.
And a cash reward over an attack that left a kitten with broken legs.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Susannah Carr and Ardon.
Good evening. MP Craig Thomson has been arrested and charged with 150 fraud offences. The former Labor, now independent politician was led away from his electorate office this morning by detectives over his alleged misuse of a union credit card.
Julia Gillard was inspecting flood-devastated Bundaberg when she was told of the Craig Thomson arrest. The Prime Minister said she had no knowledge her former MP was about to be visited by police.
Police have seized an arsenal of illegal weapons, including submachine guns and shotguns, from a home in Perth's north. A 31-year-old man with links to the Rebels outlaw motorcycle gang faced court today, charged over the haul.
Just literally slide straight in.
A deadly killing machine, police say, could fire 600 rounds a minute. Not one, but two of these homemade submachine guns, along with a cache of handguns.
It's a 357 Magnum.
And shotguns were found at this Ridgewood home, many of them hidden in the roof space. And more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition.
In the hands of drug dealers, these sort of weapons are dangerous. They don't always think straight. They could potentially inflict a large amount of harm to a number of people very quickly.
Detectives also allegedly found an array of drugs, including methamphetamine, heroin and cannabis, when they smashed their way into the Corinda Way property as part of an investigation into drug dealing.
Certainly we're looking at the mid-level to upper-level drug dealing here.
It's difficult to put a price on this haul, but police say conservatively the drugs on this table are worth at least $1 million. The homeowner, Simon Mark Omar, has been charged with numerous drug and firearm offences. His house seized under proceeds of crime legislation. A brand new Hummer, an HSV Club Sport, a Harley Davidson and a trail bike, among other property also confiscated. Police say the 31-year-old has links to the Rebels bikie gang. Rob Scott, 7 News.
The Prime Minister says recovery and rebuilding after the Queensland floods will cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Shocking new pictures show the full extent of the damage, not just to homes and businesses, but vital infrastructure.
10 people are in hospital after a train derailed and smashed into a railway station in Brisbane. It happened just after 9:30 this morning in the city's south. A problem with the brakes has been blamed. The train crashed through the station platform and a cement wall, stopping 10 metres into the building. Authorities say it came close to being a catastrophe.
This is the first time I've seen a train derail to this extent.
19 people underwent checks for injuries.
A Perth man is in hospital tonight after he was allegedly hit by a car and left on the road seriously injured. Matthew Shin says it happened when he was crossing Newcastle Street in Northbridge. Kate Smithers reports.
Matthew Shin is in so much pain he can't move his back, arms or legs, and it's affecting his speech.
Not feeling good at all.
Matthew says he was crossing Newcastle Street, Northbridge last night when he was hit.
Just saw a big pool of blood in front of me and I tried to get up but couldn't.
The 39-year-old remembers seeing a car leave the accident.
Just two brake lights just flying up the road.
Matthew has serious head injuries and broken bones. He's a bricklayer. He says this accident will put him out of work for at least 6 months.
Police have charged a 26-year-old man with dangerous driving, not reporting the accident or stopping to help.
Sometimes it's just bad luck. Sometimes you just got to roll with the punches.
Kate Smithers, 7 News.
Labor has attacked Premier Colin Barnett's truthfulness over broken election commitments 4 years ago. It follows the Premier's refusal to accept that the government's failure to build a railway to Ellenbrook is a broken promise. Political editor Geof Parry reports.
Both Premier and Opposition Leader are keeping rail front and centre for different reasons. On 92.9 FM this morning, Mr Barnett was asked about his promise during the last election to build a rail line to Ellenbrook.
We released a policy and that said that the Ellenbrook rail line would be a second-term project if we were elected.
But there's no evidence to support that, and when pressed, Mr Barnett can't back it up.
You made it very clear. I'm just trying to get it clear in my head when you made it very clear.
Well, Geoff, I'm too busy trying to govern this state, trying to prepare for an election campaign.
2 weeks ago on FM radio, Mr Barnett exaggerated the cost to taxpayers to scrap the new stadium in favour of Subiaco Oval because he didn't want to be boring.
I don't think the listeners out there want me to say I can't answer that. I've got to go and talk to Treasury. Sorry.
They want you to tell you the truth.
I do tell the truth.
You've got to tell the truth, even when you're on FM radio. But unfortunately, Mr Barnett has not learnt that lesson.
Labor, meanwhile, is spruiking another part of Metronet, its latest offering today, the 12-kilometre North Circle line. It links the existing Joondalup and Midland lines with the proposed Ellenbrook and Airport spurs. Labor says the North Circle line will cost $616 million. And problems in our prisons. Prison officers at Casuarina and Hakea stopped work this morning after pay talks with the state government broke down. Prisoner transfers to courts were delayed for 2 hours.
We expect that this action will escalate, and sadly that will mean more disruption in the courts, more disruption in the prisons.
Geof Parry, 7 News.
In breaking news, a burst water main is causing traffic problems in Myrie. There are some road closures in place for people heading home tonight. A lane of traffic on North Lake Road heading south from Kitchener Road is closed. Police say traffic is heavy heading both north and south. It's unclear how the water main burst. Authorities say it should be fixed by tonight.
A candlelight vigil will be held tonight in memory of an 8-month-old baby boy who was killed when a car crashed into his bedroom in Perth's north. Alexis Donkin is at Kingsbridge Park in Butler. And Alexis, how many people are expected?
Well, Rick, around 2,000 people RSVP'd online. Now, that includes friends and complete strangers. Now, baby Nate Dunbar was killed last week while he was asleep in his cot. A four-wheel drive veered off the road and crashed through his bedroom in Merriwa. A woman has been charged over his death. Now, there's been a huge outcry of grief for Nate's family, and it's hoped tonight money can be raised. Those coming are asked to donate $2, and all the money raised will go to the family. Now, the vigil starts at 7. We're told there will be a minute's silence. Sue.
Thanks, Alexis. Perth could be in for a new property boom. House prices went up more than 6% last year, the second best growth in the country. Australian property monitors say the city's eastern suburbs led the way and were on track to get back to record house prices.
The drive towards Perth's eastern suburbs as they drive Perth's house price revival.
We're flat out, yeah.
Belmont real estate agent Richard Eldridge sees it firsthand. Perth's median house price rose 6.1% last year to $560,000. Only Darwin had stronger growth. Perth was way above the national increase of 2.1%.
I think it will keep going because of the imbalance between supply and demand.
The eastern suburbs performed best with an 8.3% increase. Southeast was next, then the north. South of the river increased by 3.6%. Southwestern suburbs and the city had smaller growth.
The Australian property monitors say if current trends continue, Perth is likely to have a record year, going past the peaks we saw in 2010. That might sound good, but the Real Estate Institute warns it also means lots of potential home buyers won't be able to afford a home.
First home buyers and investors just bailed out of the market, so we may well see the same sort of affordability pressures.
Blake Johnson, 7 News.
An asylum seeker has washed up on Christmas Island on a raft made from rubber tubes. The man was found by a dive operator on the island's Lily Beach. It's believed he came ashore on South Point and walked about 10 kilometres to the beach. It's thought 3 men with him on the raft may have drowned. The man had been on a boat with about 16 Burmese asylum seekers.
Last night we introduced you to Ozzy the kitten who was cruelly thrown out of a car window. Now a cash reward is being offered to catch the tiny tabby's attacker. Jessica van der End reports.
2 broken legs, bandaged and bruised, Ozzy has captured hearts.
Well, he's just a little Australian battler. He's very brave.
The RSPCA's plea for witnesses has prompted dozens to come forward offering to adopt the tiny victim of animal cruelty. But no one has been able to identify who threw the 4-week-old tabby out a moving car's window. Now People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals is offering a $1,000 cash reward for information leading to a conviction.
It's just such an abhorrent act of cruelty, you couldn't imagine something worse.
A witness saw the kitten hit the road but could only identify the car as a hatchback. It happened about midday on Australia Day in Brunswick, near where another cat was killed earlier this month, shot with this arrow.
It has been a very bad season for kittens. We've got about 7 that need rehoming. Yeah, he'll be available for adoption in about 6 weeks' time.
Jessica Van Der Ven, 7 News.
Australia's cricket captain Michael Clarke says Shane Warne has earned the right to criticise Australian cricket. And while Warne has called for a major overhaul of the game in this country, Clarke says the current regime is doing a good job. Virgin Australia is a step closer to taking over regional airline Sky West after Australia's consumer watchdog today approved the move. The ACCC says the deal won't hinder competition along routes in the state's mining regions. Virgin made a $98 million bid for the Perth-based airline last October. The Foreign Investment Review Board and Virgin Australia shareholders still need to approve the merger.
An American politician left for dead by a gunman has appeared before a US Senate hearing into gun control. Left disabled, Gabby Gifford struggled to speak as she pleaded for tougher laws. At the same time, a shooting massacre was unfolding in her home state.
Perth's #1, Australia's #1.